Hi everyone, this is another in a series of educational videos. This one is about how to read. Reading is crucial to being informed and not inflamed. Reading allows your mind to take in many perspectives compared to watching TV news. TV news generally simplifies things for us. Why? Well, something complex usually becomes boring. And to make it interesting, TV news leaves out parts of the story. Now, as a former newspaper reporter and a former TV news reporter, I've seen this firsthand. So reading is essential. It's also essential for reading to be convenient. So as we move on, you may feel overwhelmed. Don't. These are suggestions and you can adjust based on what is going on in your life. So first, read 4 newspapers a day. 4 newspapers a day? Okay, if you can read 1 a day, then do that. No one is watching over your shoulder. Here's how you do it efficiently. Read on a computer, Kindle, iPhone, or Droid. Next, speed read. You can train yourself or take a speed reading course. You can do it online or through DVDs. Before you do that, do this type of speed reading. Read only the first 5 paragraphs of each story. I know it goes against everything you believe in, like finish your food or people will starve in China. Well, they aren't necessarily starving in China anymore, so I give you permission to stop at 5 paragraphs, unless you want more. Here are some good reasons why you can stop at 5 paragraphs. First, most newspaper articles are written with all the info in the top 2 paragraphs. Newspaper writing was designed for the guy on the commuter train in the 40s and 50s. Second, most of the time, the remainder of the story is background or the previous day's information. Third, news is the first draft of history. It is probably going to change tomorrow or the next day when you read those first 5 paragraphs. So what should you read? Here are my 4 choices that you can get online now. The New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, the Washington Post, and then your local morning paper. You get the liberal and conservative views from the Times and the Wall Street Journal. You get Inside Washington from the Post, and then local from your daily newspaper. Are there others? Sure, you can choose. Again, these are just suggestions. Next, read 2 political blogs. Here are my choices: Talking Points Memo on the left and the National Review Online on the right. They cover the different political perspectives, but for me, they do it with more clarity and research. I tend to avoid the extremists and the screamers. Next, try 2 morning newsletters. I suggest 2 from Politico.com. I like Morning Money and Politico Playbook. Politico, in my opinion, has a bias toward politics, but not toward any party or specific agenda. Next, read a weekly magazine. My choice is The Economist. Nothing against any other weekly magazine, but I choose The Economist because it gives me 2 different perspectives I wouldn't normally get. It's British and European, and it's written with a slant toward the world economy. And of course, read nonfiction. You need to keep a piece of nonfiction going at all times. Now, I heard this as a college student. I can't document its veracity, but I believe it. The most successful people are those who read nonfiction. Here are some guidelines. Read experts and well-researched academics, not political hacks. Read candidates either as they're emerging, so you get where they're coming from, or after they have retired for at least a decade. That way, they have a better perspective and they're not as self-serving. Here are some more tips. Again, speed read. Take a speed reading course. Don't feel you have to read an entire book. If it doesn't help you, pertain to you, or grab your interest, then drop it. Get a Kindle or Kindle software so you can stockpile books electronically. Listen to audiobooks. I have Audible.com on my phone. I listen while on a trip, while working out, while driving. Here's a tip inside a tip. While listening to audiobooks, increase the narrator's speed to 3x or 3 times faster. Your brain will pick it up and you will save time. Subscribe to a book review service. I have CapitalReader.com. Each month, I get an 8-page synopsis of a new piece of nonfiction. I tend to use this with books that I just can't get to. Some of you might think it's like the forbidden but always there Cliff Notes from high school. You feel guilty. Don't. You did it back then and you turned out okay today, right? Get over it. All right, now you have your reading assignments and you're on your way to a more informed less inflamed life.